Welcome to TheraTea, where we spill the tea on therapy, mental health, feelings, and everything in between. I'm your host, Dr. Sonya D. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. This is a safe space where we sip the tea and spill truths. And if you've been riding with me, you know in our last episode, we got real about self-awareness and accountability. We talked about how taking that hard, honest look in the mirror and saying, okay, I see you and I gotta do better was a necessary conversation. But now we have to talk about the piece that makes that kind of inner work sustainable. Self-compassion. Because listen, calling yourself out without learning how to comfort yourself, that's not growth. That's self-sabotage in a therapy hoodie. That's like trying to heal a wound by throwing salt on it and calling it motivation. So let's sip on it. What is self-compassion, really? Let's break it down. Self-compassion is the practice of treating yourself with the same warmth, care, and understanding that you would offer a friend who's struggling. It's not self-pity. It's not coddling. And it's definitely not about avoiding accountability. It's about holding space for your humanity without putting yourself on trial for being human. Dr. Kristen Neff, the Beyonce of self-compassion research, defines it in 3 parts: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. Self-kindness. Speak to yourself like you would someone you like. Common humanity. Realizing you're not the only hot mess expressed out here. Everyone struggles. And we all ride that train. And mindfulness. Not over-identifying with your pain. Feel it. Name it. But don't become it. Think of it as an emotional first aid. You wouldn't tell someone who tripped or scraped their knee to get over it and stop being dramatic. Well, some of you do, but we're learning past that, right? In truth, you should help them up. So why don't you do that for yourself? A fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. So let's talk T on tendencies. How a person's mindset impacts self-compassion and your relationships. A fixed mindset says, I am who I am, and I can't change. So when someone offers feedback or correction, it feels like an attack on your identity. You shut down, you defend, you spiral. A growth mindset says, I can learn, improve, and evolve. Feedback becomes information, not judgment. And self-compassion fuels that growth mindset by creating an emotional safety net to fall back on. Without self-compassion, you become emotionally unavailable to grow. You block blessings, resist intimacy, and stay stuck in the cycle of I suck. So don't even try to help me. But here's a kicker. Self-compassion is the bridge between the two. Without it, correction feels like a character assassination. With it, you stay open and feedback becomes fertilizer for your glow up. Let's set the scene. We have triggered Tony. Tony hears, you've been distant lately. Her response, wow, I guess I suck. I ruined everything. And then we have evolving Erica. Erica hears the same thing. Erica's response, she pauses, she breathes, she says, that's fair. I've had a lot on my mind lately. Thanks for saying something. Tony spiraled. Erica softened. And soft doesn't mean weak, it means wise enough not to fight every fire with more flames. So what happens when you lack self-compassion? The consequences are real. You spiral over simple mistakes. Look at Tony. You confuse perfection with worthiness. You avoid growth because failure feels fatal. And you attract people who treat you like you treat you. Like I had a client who'd say, I should be over this by now. Like healing had an expiration date. Her inner voice was a drill sergeant, not a support system. Once she rewired her self-talk with compassion, she didn't just heal faster. She started living softer. So what does self-compassion look like? So let's get practical. Self-compassion is saying I'm struggling instead of I'm a failure. It's letting yourself rest without the guilt trip. It's admitting you messed up without making it your whole identity. It's not excusing toxic behavior with, that's just me. It's not avoiding accountability. And it's not crying victim every time someone holds you to a higher standard. It's self-honesty plus self-kindness. You need both. One without the other, that's either delusion or self-destruction. So what are the benefits of practicing self-compassion? I'm glad you asked. Here's what happens when you make compassion your default setting. Your anxiety takes a nap. Your motivation comes back with snacks. And who doesn't like snacks? Your relationships soften and deepen. And your bounce back game levels up. Most importantly, you stop outsourcing your worth to other people's validation. But sometimes being kind to yourself feels weird. Let's keep it 100. Some of us were raised on tough love with zero tenderness. So self-compassion might feel like a foreign language, like, wait, I don't have to earn rest? I don't have to punish myself into progress? Friend, you don't. If kindness to yourself feels fake, start with neutral. Instead of, I suck, try, I'm having a hard moment. Let's do a mini exercise. A mirror talk. Let's check in. So grab a mirror or use it in front of your camera. And yes, you can do it right now. Ask yourself, what am I beating myself up about? What would I say to a friend in this exact situation? And what's one kind or neutral sentence I can say to myself right now? Then say it. Say it out loud, even if it feels weird. Now breathe. Place your hand on your chest and whisper, I'm allowed to be gentle with me. Quick tips. You can heal with humor and heart. So one thing you can do is of course it out. So, of course I'm overwhelmed. I'm juggling. Of course I'm tired. I've been up since 5 a.m. and it's 10 a.m. and I'm still not done. Or you can use the best friend filter. If you wouldn't say it to your best friend, don't say it to yourself. And this is a big one. Ditch the healing Olympics. You're not competing. There's no gold medal for who heals the fastest. Then clap for tiny wins. You brushed your teeth. You got out of bed. Yay! You sent that scary email. All right. You set a boundary and reinforced it. You go, girl, boy, friend. Make your inner critic sound like a cartoon. Like, if you're hearing you're not good enough, say that in a SpongeBob voice and see how long you can take it seriously. Our final sip, our key takeaway. Self-compassion isn't a luxury. It's a life skill. a survival strategy in the Glow Up Essential. So your TheraTea homework this week is catch your inner critic in the act and talk back with kindness. Just one moment, one sentence. That's how revolutions start. Because you are not your worst day. You are not your biggest mistake. You are worthy of love, growth, and gentleness, even in your mess. So before you go, spill the tea, share this episode with a friend who needs to hear it, and follow me on Facebook and TikTok. Let's keep the conversation going. And I'll be back next time with more real talk, more resources, and of course, more TheraTea. As I like to say, I'm not the one to gossip, but I'm spilling the tea. The TheraTea.